Hello, and welcome to the Love Your Work Life podcast. I'm your host, Elissa Shuck. Whether you're going for that next promotion, looking for a job, or making a career pivot, I'll teach you how to navigate it all so you can have the career you want.
This is the Love Your Work Life podcast, episode 5.
Hey there, happy Monday, and I'm so glad to have you all here today. I am really passionate. Now, maybe you keep hearing me say the word passionate. I don't know, but I am. I love working. I love jobs. I love helping people find jobs and find careers they love. So one of the things I'm super passionate about, because I know it makes a huge difference in finding a job that you love and really, being on a career path that you find full of meaning and purpose, is to tap in and be super aware of your transferable skills. Now, we've heard of these. Sometimes they're called soft skills. Sometimes they're called essential skills. The bottom line is that these skills are the reason that you're able to find success at work. I call them behavioral skills, and it's essential that you are aware of these and you include them on your resume and you include them in your conversations that you're having with people, with interviews, what have you, because these are the skills that help you connect the dots from what you do, how you show up, to the accomplishments that you create. Let me explain a little bit. And I will, just sidebar, I'm going to put a link to a discovery worksheet that will help you find your transferable skills. That's going to be in the show notes. Now, I will say this is a great worksheet. I know it's going to help you tremendously. I have a little cheat that I use, whether a client hires me to write their resume, hires me for a lightning fast job search program, or a more comprehensive career strategy, career transition program. The first thing I do is work with them to identify their transferable skills. And I have a little cheat because I use a great assessment tool that produces a personal dynamics report. It's comprehensive. It basically is created specifically for workplace behavioral strength, and it's a tremendous resource. And based on that, I've created some worksheets for you so that you still have a way to identify your transferable skills. Okay, sidebar over. The reason these skills, identifying your transferable skills, is so important is because these are your workplace strengths. These are the characteristics and traits which set you apart. They're unique to you. It's the combination of all these things that's unique to you, and it's the reason you create results. It's the reason you find success in your job, in your career. And I want you to have a deep appreciation for these, to get a sense of the value that your transferable skills bring to the table, so that you can catch a vision of how they show up and how these create your amazing contributions in the workplace. Think of it like this. These are the universal traits. Everyone has them. The differentiator is how they show up for you, your unique style, and how you display them throughout your workday. When you understand your unique style, it's going to help you gain clarity on your direction for your career, the value that your work contributes. And I even say it really helps you stay in your strength zone. If you're someone that has a fast pace, you love variety, you thrive in environments that are changing all the time, that's a very different kind of behavior than someone who is very methodical, who has a rhythmic approach to work. What's interesting is certain roles require a methodical, rhythmic approach, and other ones require thriving in fast paced environments. When you know this about yourself, when you understand this, it helps you understand where you're going to thrive, the kinds of roles that require one approach versus another, one behavior versus another, and even the company. I see clients all the time where we dive into their personal dynamics report, and if a company describes themselves as fast paced, and my client is someone who is in their strength zone when they are moving at a slower rhythmic pace because certain roles require that. If the company culture doesn't align there, then that's going to be a constant adjustment for you that ultimately is going to cause stress. It's ultimately going to cause workplace, work life unhappiness. So I want you to be aware of that. Now, there's a few transferable skills, essential skills, if you will, that are the typical ones everybody talks about in the job. Let's talk about those for a minute. Leadership is one. Now, I'm a firm believer that everybody has leadership skills. It doesn't matter if you have a leadership role in the sense that you have direct reports. Everyone has leadership skills. Some leadership skills show up in a very persuasive style, a little bit more laid back, and other leadership styles show up as being that director, that person that can really take charge in a situation. These are both leadership styles, but they show up differently. Now, even if you don't have a leadership role, a management role per se, you can still show up on your team as someone who's really good at persuading people to your way of thinking. Maybe you're the person that takes charge in an indecisive situation and says, no, here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the priorities and we're going to make a decision. Both are leadership skills, but they don't require you to be a leader and a manager. But I want you to understand your leadership skills because they affect how you show up to work and they affect the accomplishments that you can create. And when you can paint a picture for how you show up as a leader for your hiring manager, for your manager, your direct supervisor, now you're going to be able to create opportunities for yourself. Another one to talk about is your communication style. Now, this is another one that's typical in the job search world. You're going to want to talk about how you communicate with other people. What do you do to build relationships? Are you the person that is super social and very comfortable in social situations? And I'm not necessarily talking about introvert, extrovert. Think about the way you communicate and think about it, the how you show up. That's the key to this. It isn't about the tools you use in communicating, that you're good at PowerPoint or that you're good with video communications. No, this is your style. This is how you show up. This is your behavior. And when you're able to be in your strength zone when it comes to behavior, you are much happier at work and you're much more able to apply those behaviors to new things, such as a career pivot or a promotion. Another way to look at this in terms of behavioral strengths is your energy style and your approach to work. High energy versus steady, rhythmic, methodical kind of energy. How are you approaching work? How do you approach getting tasks and goals done? Maybe you're the follow through person. Maybe you're the person that everybody knows. You're going to be the one to follow through. Projects get handed off to you and you see them through. Maybe you're the idea person. Maybe you have these big bursts of energy and these big ideas that ultimately someone else is going to latch on to. Who is the person that is steady and persistent and tenacious? These are three ways that we approach accomplishing tasks and achieving goals. And when you understand the way you approach goals, the way you accomplish tasks, as the idea person, as the follow through supportive person, or as the tenacious, persistent person who I say is like a dog on a bone, man, you are not going to give up. You're going to see it through. Organizations need all three kinds of people. Understanding which one you are is going to help you identify great roles for yourself and identify organizations and teams where you'll thrive. I also want you to think about the words and the characteristics that apply when it comes to transferable skills. Now, I've got 30 of them on the worksheet that you can get access to through the show notes. But think about a few of these. Are you accurate? Are you adaptable? Are you someone who's really analytical? Are you a big picture person? Are you competitive? You salespeople, this is a trait you have that serves you well. Are you someone that's more contemplative? Are you decisive? Are you imaginative? Are you someone who is poised and procedural? Are you this motivating visionary? All of these things are really great words to understand about yourself and use because they're great action verbs. They're great descriptive words that you can use on your resume and inside interviews to help describe the way you approach things, the way you interact with people, and especially when you're answering those behavioral type questions, use these words to help really paint that picture of success and how you created the accomplishments that you had in your past, because what you did in your past by using your transferable skills is evidence of what you're going to do in the future. And it's going to really help a hiring manager see you on their team in a way kind of detached from where you created your previous results. This is super helpful when you're making a pivot, especially a significant pivot where we're just leveraging your transferable skills towards the new thing that you want to do. They support you 100%, and it helps someone see you apart from your past. What's interesting is you can play around with a combination of skills, look at how they support each other, look at how someone who is accurate is supportive of someone who is detail oriented. So when you do your worksheet, think about these combinations and how they support each other and how they support the way you show up. I really hope you take to heart this idea. Your transferable skills, your soft skills, your essential skills are so powerful, especially when you're attaching them to accomplishments. Think of your leadership skill and then think about how you contributed as a leader in a situation that ultimately created a great result. When you connect those dots, you're going to feel empowered, and you're also going to show the person that is interviewing you how you can contribute and how you can have impact on their team and inside their organization. Get access to the worksheet in the show notes. And if you want to, one of the things I offer is this report, is this assessment of transferable skills. So you can always reach out to me on my website. You can always find me on LinkedIn. And if you're at all curious about your behavioral strengths, well, let's find out about those, because I'm telling you, in all of the pivots I've made in my career, the foundation was my transferable skills. It can be yours too. All right. Talk to you again soon. Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, you have to come check out my Love Your Work Life programs on Teachable. You can choose from on-demand courses or personalized one-on-one coaching with me. We take all of this material and apply it so that you can live it and create the career you want. Because when you love your work life, all the other parts of life get better too. So go to Love Your Work Life Teachable as search terms, or love-your-work-life.teachable.com. I will see you there.